What's up everyone? Welcome back. Alright, so I've been messing around with the channel a bit lately and that has been taking up some of my time, but I do also have a couple of build videos being worked on right now. Nothing special really, just what I've been playing since the release of the game. I got a couple of other projects completely unrelated to Wolcen also being worked on at the moment, so I do apologize for taking a minute to get these videos out. I just got a lot going on right now. However, I had also decided to wait until today, which is Thursday, March 5th, to see if we were going to get a new patch today. We did not. So I have been struggling for a while now trying to figure out what I want to say because in all honesty my emotions are all over the place with this game right now. As someone who has followed and supported this game for many years now, who has constantly put up videos on his YouTube asking the community to continue being patient, who has waited for years for this game to come out, I cannot even explain or express to you all just how disappointed I really am. After hundreds of news updates asking us all to please be patient so that Wolcen Studios could deliver to us the quote, best possible experience, this is what we were given. After years of patience and support, it just honestly feels like we have all been completely dumped on. But that's just me. However, please don't get me wrong here. I know that a lot of people out there are hating on this game just to hate on it or because of the server issues at launch. I personally don't care one little tiny bit about the server issues. I am kind of honestly glad that the servers melted because it just means that the interest in this game was much larger than anyone realized, and that's really not a bad thing. Not to mention that pretty much every single online game launched nowadays has server issues the first few days or weeks of release, and I mean that is something that all gamers should just expect nowadays. It does not make it right, and it doesn't mean that the devs shouldn't do more to prevent these kinds of issues, but that's just the way it is. Now, keep in mind that everything that was just said only applies to the release of the game. It has now been around 3 weeks since the release of the game, and guess what? Some people still cannot even play online. I personally am running into the same exact issue that I did during the beta. As a matter of fact, I've had this issue since Content Patch 2 was released in the beta, and the issue I am talking about is not being able to play in an online game for more than a couple of minutes, if I'm lucky, before it just kicks me back out to the main menu, quickly flashing that infamous error 0. So for those of you who are new around here or just didn't know, I have been following and playing this game since it was in alpha, so for many years now. And I have been playing this game solo for many years now. I am really starting to get over that, I really am. When Content Patch 1 was released, this was the patch that introduced multiplayer to Wolcen for the very first time ever. Everything worked just fine, it was weird. I was playing online with Marty Game DK and it was amazing. But as soon as the next big patch came out, goodbye multiplayer. So yeah, I guess that you could say the online issues are very irritating to me, but that's really all it is. It's just a little annoying. My real issues with the game currently, and the reason why I have been struggling to find what to say, are the uncountable amount of bugs that are plaguing the game. I mean, honestly, this game should have never been released or even advertised as a full release of a game in this state. But again, please don't get me wrong here, a few bugs here and there really aren't a big deal, and I have seen plenty of people out there talking about how much they enjoy the game, how much fun it has been, and how they really haven't ran into too many bugs. And I mean, that is all well and good. I am glad that some people out there are truly enjoying themselves, but if you are new to this game, if you had barely heard of it and just picked it up around or after release or something, are you sure that you are even aware of some of these bugs? For example, are you aware that a very large portion of the nodes on the skill tree either don't work at all or are not working as intended? Are you aware that quite a few of the skill modifier nodes are not working or working as intended? The point that I'm trying to make here is, if you are very new, are you sure that you have been playing without many bugs, or are you just new to the point that you just don't realize that even your build itself is bugged and not working as intended? And I mean, even though it is the very foundation of your gameplay, your skill trees, your skill modifier, your build itself being bugged and not working really is just the very tippity tip of the iceberg. Now, having all these bugs and issues in the alpha or even the beta would have been just fine. I personally have watched these devs for many years now, and I can honestly say that they do care. They have so much love and passion for their game, and that is honestly a whole lot more than I can say about a lot of these AAA companies. But also, I have seen them make quite a bit of progress in resolving these issues, so there was really no need to be concerned about it in the alpha or the beta. However, the game is not in alpha or beta anymore. It has been publicly released as a full game, and that is where I start to have big problems. So like I just said, I have seen them make progress on resolving some of the issues with the game. It's just that in my opinion, most, if not all, of the bugs that existed during alpha and beta should have been resolved before the game was even released. And I am talking about the very simple issues like monsters or gold spawning out of bounds, which still happens. Invisible walls either blocking the path that you need to take or just randomly blocking some areas of the dungeon. There is an invisible wall in one of the new dungeon maps that is always at the very end right next to the boss. And I cannot tell you how many times my rockets have hit that wall instead of the boss, wasting my rage and giving the boss time to regen his health a bit. Yeah, it has been very frustrating to try and play the game recently, and it has been even more frustrating trying to find information about what exactly is going on. So let me take this moment real quick to explain. I am not doing a complete 180 and am now starting to hate on this game. No, I love this game. I have a blast playing it, and that right there is the problem. So if anyone from Wolcen Studios sees this, then please, I want you guys to know we are not upset because we don't have faith in you anymore. We are not disappointed because we hate this game and never want to see it again. Quite the opposite, actually. We love this game. We see so much potential in it, and we just want to play the damn thing because it is going to be awesome someday. It's just, you guys got to get it working, and you really got to start communicating more. I mean, as aware of this as I'm sure you all are, the clock is ticking. Now, I am sure that some people will always come back after new patches, and as the game continues to grow, I'm sure that the community will too. Unfortunately, there are now some people who have had such a bad taste put into their mouths from this launch that I honestly would not be surprised if they never touch this game again, and that is why I say the clock is ticking. I mean, hundreds of people spammed in Discord that a delayed release is way more easily forgiven than a completely botched release. And I mean, I don't know if I honestly feel the same way, but the point is that many people out there actually do. But alright, so now that I got a lot of my hate out, if that's what you want to call it, let's switch it up and talk about what we know about where the game is going to go from here. So like I said, it has been very frustrating trying to find some information. I'm sure that a lot of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's even more frustrating that the only damn interview given recently is posted on a German site in German language that you can only see if you subscribe to their channel or something. What the hell is that about? In that interview though, the dev or devs, I don't know, basically explained a bit more about what went wrong at launch, that they could not delay the game any longer because after the first delay of beta was announced, they faced huge backlash, and they were very afraid and in no mood to face that again. But at the same time, they did not expect and so were unprepared for all of the server issues, server bugs, and they really did not expect the demand of over 100,000 players trying to get in. Now, I'm not sure if I exactly buy all of that, but hey, what do I know? I don't speak German and I wasn't there, so who knows? But in terms of new content and polishing, the next 4 months will focus on polishing, fixing bugs, and implementing more quality of life features like changing the left mouse button to force move. There was also a first content update, or DLC, whatever you want to call it, planned for the first 4 months, but is now pushed back until the game is smoothed out and balanced properly. After that period, we can expect a first content update to expand the in-game and also the city building experience, and they also teased a 4th story chapter and something along the lines of seasons for multiplayer, similar to Diablo 3 or Path of Exile's Leagues, but they did not say any release date on that, so that might not be within the next 4 months, we don't know. The interviewer then went on to close out his article with, quote, "That was basically it. Really nice interview. I kinda appreciate the guys a bit more now. They are in it with heart and soul and suffer as well as we do with all of the annoying bugs and critical errors, but they just had no choice." End quote. And that is something I have been wanting to say as well. I mean, if you honestly think that the developers at Wolcen Studio are not just as, if not way more upset than we all are about these bugs and issues, then you, my friend, may need to get your head checked. I don't know. Because I don't know a single person on this planet that would not be upset after putting in years of blood, sweat, and tears into their project. And one last little thing I found before we go, a press release came out today stating that Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, the Diablo-like action RPG developed by the namesake studio, has already managed to sell over 1 million units. Over 1 million characters have been created, 12 million monsters slain, 17 million hours played. And this one cracks me up, 115 billion, with a B, pieces of gold looted after removing a gold exploit. Oh man, that one just gets me, that they removed the gold exploit. Did they though? Did they? Alright everyone, that is about it for now, but despite the overall tone of this video, I am not hating on Wolcen, like, at all, and I am definitely not condemning them to hell. I will continue to play the game and follow its progress. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I already have 2 more Wolcen videos in the works, build guides for the 2 builds that I have been messing around with since launch, and also some other projects that are not related to Wolcen at all. So I'm just saying, expect to see a few more videos popping up on the channel over the next few days or so, and hopefully within that time we will get an update, or karma willing, maybe even a patch. That would be so nice, but I don't get your hopes up. We will just have to wait and see, unfortunately. So until then, take it easy everyone, and thank you all so very much for the support to the channel. It has been amazing. So stay awesome everyone, and hopefully I will catch you all again next time.